Hi, good evening. Oh gosh. I didn't announce that I was going live right now, but I'm gonna be honest, y'all. I just woke up from a nap, and this weather here isn't helping. Because right now, all I want to do is sleep. So, it's about 8:45 here in Houston. I think the temperature is probably about 40-some degrees. It's kind of cold. We look forward to this time of year in Houston a lot. So, hey, sweetie, he's on Facebook. Hey, my Periscope family. Hi, Facebook family. Y'all, this weather wants you to put your head on a pillow, watch a few Hallmark movies, and just, if you're a popcorn eater, eat some popcorn and go to bed. So, waiting for a few more people to join. Then I'm going to get started. I probably won't be that long tonight because, gosh, look at my eyes. I'm still a little tired, but I got a few things I need to do tonight before I go to bed. Have a lot going on in the next week. I don't know if you all realize Thanksgiving is next week, and so this week at work and here, there's just a lot to do to prepare. I guess we're officially in the holiday season. For me, it used to be the day after Thanksgiving, but as we all know, it all started September 15th. Shoot, it just feels that way. So, tonight, just want to share a few things that's been going on in my world. But before I get started, I'm going to, for those of you that don't know who I am, that may be catching this on the replay on both Facebook and Periscope, I'm Sherry Ellis. I am the owner of SBE Designs and SBE Consulting. And I'm inviting you all on my journey from 9 to 5 to full-time entrepreneurship. So basically, I'm just taking you all along with me. If you all feel free to join me, please comment. You can send me an email. Just let me know what you all think. I'm here on Facebook. You can find me as Sherry Ellis. Periscope is Sherry Ellis. Instagram is Sherry Banks Ellis, but I think if you put in Sherry Ellis, you'll still find me. So right now I'm on those 3 platforms. I would get on SoundCloud, but unfortunately my phone is dead, and it is on the charger in the nearest plug. The charger's too short, so this week, my SoundCloud listeners, I'll try to maybe re-record what I talk about tonight and get that up as well. If you are on SoundCloud and you prefer to, some people prefer podcasts versus videos. I am on SoundCloud, and you can find me as Sherry Ellis as well. So, let me get into what's been going on with me. I had my first vendor event. It's been about a year, I want to say, since I've done a vendor event with SBE Designs. It was at a women's conference here in Houston, and it was cold. And yet anything under 65 degrees here in Houston is cold. So for those of you that live up north, yes, it's cold down here to us. Yes, we had on coats. Yes, we did. so hey, don't judge us. Hey, we don't get cold weather too often. So when we do, we show up with our coats, boots, gloves, and everything else. But this weekend was the women's conference, and it actually confirmed something that's been spoken to me, I guess you can say, through different ways. For the past about 2 weeks or so, I'll say about the past 2 weeks, and it's about showing up. So the first time the word show up came to me was maybe about 3 weeks ago. I want to say it's about 3 weeks ago. I was listening to a message on Periscope. Trying to remember the name of, I think it was a pastor, LeJour Glasper, I think is his name. And he was giving a message about showing up. And so I was at work actually when I heard that message, and I'm like, okay, have I really been showing up in my life? How have I been showing up? Have I been showing up the best that I can show up? And of course, since I was at work, and that's not my favorite place to be these days, just because not necessarily my work environment as much as just what I do. You know, like I was saying in my very first video, I've just gotten to a point in my life where I've kind of had, it's time for me to do other things. But yet I'm going to do some adjustments real quick because I can't see people on Periscope. There we go. Okay, there we go. I can see the comments on Facebook. Hey, Cheryl. But I got to do this to see Periscope, and I don't want to keep doing that. Okay, so here we go. So the first time I heard that was during that message, and I'm one of those, I've gotten to the point, everything I hear, I put on a t-shirt. I'm like, oh, great, that would be so cool to put on a t-shirt. So I wrote it down, and I kind of just had it on my list of t-shirts. And so with that, I heard that was the first time. And so it's kind of been resonating a little bit in my head for the past few weeks. And so it was this week. Actually, it was earlier this week. There's just been some things going on personally that really took me for a ride, to the point that, oh, y'all, guess what? I literally forgot my birthday. I knew it was coming, but so much was going on in the past few days surrounding my birthday. I literally woke up on Monday morning, and I'm like, wait, it is my birthday. And then spent the day not really doing anything regarding my birthday. But anyway, so earlier this week, it started resonating in my mind again. And so on that day, on my birthday, actually, one of the things I was doing was I'm building my t-shirt line. All of you are familiar with the faith and trust, because that's pretty much my walk I'm having with God this year. So that's really the basis of my t-shirt line. Faith and trust, those two words will always be part of my line. And then, of course, about 3 years ago, no, it's been 3 years, about 2 years ago, during Vacation Bible School, I was sitting in the young adult class. Yeah, I prefer the young adult class. And they were speaking about different things. And one of the lessons was about prioritizing your time. And the facilitator stated something about pray, work, and play. And I'm like, and I told her then, I said, I'm going to put that on a t-shirt. And that was before I started doing t-shirts. So between faith and trust, and as you all can see my t-shirt in the back, pray, work, play. I even have a mug with pray, work, play, and that's pretty much my motto. So okay, so I'm putting those down. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do these t-shirts, and then I came up with some other t-shirt ideas. So that's what I was doing for my birthday on Monday, while doing absolutely nothing else. And of course, I said I need to put, for some reason in my mind, I said I need to put it's time to show up on a t-shirt. And I couldn't figure out how I was going to put it on a t-shirt, because I didn't want anything that was just big, and my faith and trust are really big. And so I'm like, okay, I want to put it on a t-shirt. How am I going to put it on a t-shirt? So okay, got that in mind. So actually at work, y'all, what today is Sunday, maybe Thursday or Friday, I found this free app, and it arranges words for you. So like if you have a phrase or a word that you I think it's called word clouds. Different, there are different word cloud apps out there. So I put it's time. No, actually, I'm sorry. It's not. It's time to show up. That's the message was. It's time to show up. But earlier this week, it came to me as like, so basically, it's a choice whether you show up or not. So I said, well, I want to put on a t-shirt. I choose to show up. So, okay. Oh, yeah, you can put prayer work play on a Yeti cup. Sure. Cheryl, sure, if you want to. You want me to do it for you? Just let me know, and let me know if you want a 30 ounce or a 20 ounce, and I'll get that out. I didn't know if people still wanted Yeti cups here. I still do the cups sometimes, the vinyl. I still do those on cups and things like that as well. I'm going to start doing canvases soon, whenever I get a moment to do it. Okay, so back, I'm trying to, okay, let me stay on track. Okay, so, I choose to show up. And so Thursday this week, I came up with the perfect t-shirt. So I've actually gotten, for some reason, I've gotten the t-shirt together. So it's just a matter of me of making it and putting it on my site. So this is where I say when it's something God wants you to do, He's going to make sure you know you need to do this. And yeah, I do take that into consideration when doing any t-shirt. And so, okay, 30 ounce. Okay, let me know, Cheryl. I'll get that to you. And so I on yesterday, like I told you, I was a vendor at a conference. Well, I did attend the conference as well. It's just been instead of just being a vendor. So the message, first of all, the message was awesome. Anyone that attended the conference on yesterday, the message was awesome. I mean, Pastor Sonia Dickinson, she literally sang the message. I had never heard that in my life. I've heard of people singing, coming up with songs as they go along. But this woman literally sang her entire message. And it wasn't a 10-minute message, y'all. I think it may have been a good 20, 25 minutes. She sang the entire message. And all I could do was stand there and hear. And so the message had 3 points. One was yielding to God. The second one was evaluate your surroundings, your situation, the people you're with. And the third part was to show up. I'm like, that's it. Let me get home. Let me start making me some show up t-shirts. Because one, it's a message for me. I've learned, like I said, my shirts have meaning. Every shirt that I create has a meaning. Either I'm going through it, I've been through it, or I'm about to go through it, And so showing up as something that's been speaking to me the past few weeks, like I said earlier, and yesterday just like sealed the deal for me, It was confirmed by 2 people of God, 2 ministers. So I'm rolling with it. I choose to, and basically life is a choice. And I always tell people, life is about choices. So I choose to show up. And so that's where I'm going. And so I'm talking about making a t-shirt to say I choose to show up. One of the main reasons why I'm talking about showing up is because I'm realizing that I'm not showing up the way I should. I'm not showing up in my prayer life the way I should. I'm not showing up at work the way I should. I'm not showing up in my relationships the way at least I feel I should. And I need to make a stronger effort to show up. And so now for me, that's been my journey this week. Show up for family, show up for friends, Now, I will say this. As important as it is to show up, I need to make sure I take care of me so I can show up. So I do want our 9-to-5ers trying to work. Like right now, I realize I'm literally working 2 full-time jobs right now. That's why I'm always sleepy, probably. So for me, I need to learn how to show up the way I should show up. So first thing for me, making a choice to show up. So before you can show up, you have to choose to do so. So I have committed to showing up. My very first priority. I love y'all family, love y'all friends, but I really need to show up for God first. And I was doing pretty good, and I kind of, let me get I need to build that up again. So showing up for God, I need to show up on a daily, and not just when I need Him, just because. I mean, y'all, oh Jesus, it's been one of those weeks where you think back and, okay, you just thank God. Okay, anyway, so it's time for me to show up for God. He's been showing up for me. The least we can do is show up for Him. So that's my first priority. The second priority is to show up for my relationships, from my relationships with family and my husband to my relationships with co-workers. Matter of fact, I do want to give a note. I was I'm in a program called Kingdom Entrepreneur University. One of our cousins did a post earlier this week, and she was telling a story about how She had checked out from her job. That was me. Checked out from her job, and how a coworker literally had to pretty much, you know how you need those people in your life sometimes to set you straight, especially if we proclaim to be people of God and live godly lives. Even when we're on a job we don't want to be anymore, we really still have to show and perform and give glory to God in everything we do. So that was the other thing that emphasized it's time for me to show up. And so it's time to show up. If we want to be blessed, if we want God to know that we're serious about having our own business, how we show up on our current jobs is a reflection how we're going to show up in our own business. How I show up on my job, and I'm going to just go a little further. How I'm showing up on my job is reflect on how I'm showing up to God. You know, some days I feel like it, some days I don't. I may feel like talking to people some days I don't want to fool with this. And while I'm there, I need to show up 100%. It's no more than right. And that's what God expects us to give our best. And so I need to give my best. So it's time for me to show up. So the next area said of course, showing up for God, showing up for my relationships, my family and friends, showing up at work, and just showing up as a child of God for me. As I said earlier, those that this is your first time watching, one of the things I do put out there is my faith in God, my belief in Jesus Christ and the Holy Spirit. So if that offends you, I just want to put that out there right now. I'm not preaching to people. I'm just telling you how I choose to live and the things that I go through. So my journey from 9 to 5 to entrepreneurship is on the basis of God being the head of my business. So you're going to hear God, Jesus, Holy Spirit a whole lot in my post. So I just want to throw that out there for those that are like, why is she talking about Jesus? Because that's how I live my life. At least I do. I try. I try my best on a daily basis. So I just want to put that out there. So back to time to show up. So it's time for us to show up. If you are taking this journey with me, y'all, it's time for us to show up on our jobs while we're still there. I want to make sure that God knows I appreciate the way He's providing for me through that job right now, as I have an expectation of Him providing for me in my businesses. So the biggest takeaway I have right now is making sure I show up on all levels, even showing up for myself. And that's going to sound kind of crazy to some people, but we'll show up for people, we'll show up for everything else, but will we show up for ourselves? And what I mean by showing up for ourselves is taking care of ourselves. And I know we have been taught that being selfish is bad. I'm not talking about being self-centered. I'm talking about taking care of our minds, spirits, and bodies. It's time for us to show up for ourselves. Because I'm beginning to learn when I'm no good, when I'm tired, when I'm not mentally at my best, when my brain is drained, I'm no good to anyone else. So if I have a desire to serve others, if I have a desire to help others, I have to be healthy, strong, mentally, physically, emotionally. I have to show up for me. And once I'm there for me, I can be there for everybody else that I need to be there for at whatever time. And part of that is showing up. You also have to learn not only to take care of yourself and prioritize who we should be showing up for. For me, God is first. I need to show up for God, number one. Is also when to decide it's okay to say no. Saying no hasn't become too difficult for me over the past maybe 10 years or so. But I was one of those that was hard for me to say no. It was hard because I was worried about hurting people's feelings and what they're going to think of me if I don't do this. And it's something I guess, I know women have it really bad, and I'm sure some men do too. We have that bad. We're worrying about what other people are going to think if we do this or don't do that. Do I think about it? Yeah, it is in the back of my head, but at the end of the day, I have to ask myself, how is this feeding my soul? Is it draining me or is it feeding me? And if it's draining me, I have no problem saying no. If I know if I agree to something, first of all, once I say yes, that's a commitment. And I've gotten to the point I'm not comfortable making commitments to things I don't believe in or something that's not settling well with me. So my no means no. My yes means yes. And I try to live by that. So when I'm saying yes to something, I'm committed to it and honoring my words. So showing up for yourself sometimes means knowing when to say no and not worrying so much of what they're going to think if I say no. So guys, this week is all about me showing up. So I'm going to commit. I need to show up for myself physically again, because those that know, I've been on a way of living, a way of eating, and I've kind of slipped a lot. I don't know if I felt because it was my birthday, I could have a few cookies. And let's see what I had this week. I had cookies, pizza and cookies are probably the two things that I never eat. Well, I'm not gonna say I never eat, but I hardly ever eat, but I ate a lot of. And so, yeah, I got to start showing up for me again starting tomorrow. I'm trying to see some on Facebook. Okay. All right. So, that's pretty much what I have today. Y'all, it's time to show up. And so what I'm going to ask all of you, the same question that I asked myself, and that is, do you choose to show up? It's time, if you are serious about your walk with God, if you're serious about becoming an entrepreneur, if you're serious about being the best person you can be for yourself, your family, your friends, your co-workers, if you're serious about being the best in your career, whatever that may be, do like join me, I guess I can say, and I choose to show up, and hopefully you'll choose the same. So I'll see you all next week, and for right now, tell you all good night, and please like. If you're on Periscope, there are 3 buttons in the right-hand corner. Press those and share. Facebook, please share this video. Like my page. Like the video. Share. And before I go, I always invite other entrepreneurs that are 9-to-5ers. If you all want to take this journey with me, please join me. And we can be accountable to each other. And hopefully we can, well, not hopefully, we will do this. Okay, we're going to do this. So good night, everybody. Let me get some work done. And hopefully I'll see you throughout the week. I was supposed to come up yesterday, but it just didn't work out. So I hope to kind of join you all sometime this week and let you know how things are going in the business and just my life as a 9-to-5 to entrepreneur, you know. So you all have a good night, and I will talk to you all later. Good night.